Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Challenge podcast. My name is Challen, and this is episode 17, a Game Week 13 and 14. No, Game Week 13 review and a 14 and 15 preview. Yes. How's it going, Leighton?
Home run. You smashed it out of the park.
Thank
It's
you.
perfect introduction. Pretty good. How about you?
On the overall, I'm feeling pretty hot. Summer is kicking in,
Yeah.
but pretty average FPL wise. It's one of those game weeks that just
Yeah.
disappeared. How are you? Besides, just in general.
In general, fine. Fantasy football wise, just okay. Not a terrible game week. Saved by my Liverpool players.
It is. We'll get into that shortly. We're going to be looking at Game Week 13, having a look at some team and player stats. Plus, we're going to predict 2 game weeks worth of fixtures and then our plans for the next couple of game weeks. The fixtures are coming in thick and fast at the moment, so it's kind of enjoyable in a way because you can't overthink things. But yeah, what do you think? Are you excited for this period?
No.
No?
No, not really.
It's a good time to catch
No.
up.
Or fall further behind.
No, you won't. Usually the casuals fall
Hopefully.
further behind in this period, so you should be fine if you just meet the deadlines. Tell us about your game week 13.
Yeah, game week 13 started off amazingly. Sanchez was in goal, got me 8 points. Awesome. Trent, 18 points as he was my captain. I said I'd choose him as my captain, and you said, "What are you doing?" But no, I stuck to it. Good captain choice. Jota, so many people brought Jota in. I got 14 points from him, Salah, 6 points. And then pretty much that's all the points in my team. Livramento and Duffy came off the bench, both 0 points. Townsend, 1 point. Allen, 2 points. Hwang Hee-chan, 2 points. Benteke, 2 points. And Ronaldo got a yellow card. So 0 points from Ronaldo. I had 50 points on Saturday. And I was dreaming. I'm going to get 70 points, 80 points, man. The Tottenham game was cancelled with Burnley because there was a little bit of snow. And I got an insane 3 points on Sunday.
It's pretty good.
It was terrible, man. It was just... So how many points did my Liverpool players get? 18 and 14, and then 6.
38.
So 38 points out of the 53. That's absolutely insane.
It is. I see you mentioned you captain Trent, but why on earth was your vice captain Wang?
The reason was he was my vice captain at the time. I saw news that what happened was in North Wales, the storm was really destructive, and so I thought, well, the Liverpool game might get called off because of how bad this storm is, as it was blowing trees all over the shop in Wales. So I thought, oh, I better vice captain someone that's not a Liverpool player. And I looked at my team and I just thought, well, who would I vice captain? And I thought, I'll go with Hwang Hee-chan. Give it a
I think
wild.
We'll get into it shortly, but I think they played Norwich, right?
Yeah, they were playing Norwich. So I thought,
remember.
well, you know what, Hwang Hee-chan hasn't scored in a while. He'll probably play. He'll probably start. And I thought, I'll just give it Hwang Hee-chan.
I can just imagine.
Good job, Liverpool player. Could you imagine?
Can you imagine that Trent just didn't play and then you ended up having to captain Wang instead of Salah or Jota? That would have sucked.
The Liverpool game was cancelled, and how many points would I have got? 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
15.
I would have got 15 points, man.
Impressive. Your moves, you're talking about your team. Your moves this week were Williams from Norwich and Antonio West Ham to who?
So I went from Antonio to Benteke, and I went from Williams to Reguilon for Tottenham Hotspur. But obviously, Spurs are scared of snow up north.
You were doing that to strengthen your bench, basically.
Yeah, that was more strength for my team, and also save some money in my forwards as well. Forwards players haven't been performing, and then I don't think Antonio played, did he?
He did play. He got 2 points, but nothing major.
Oh, did he? Oh.
But yeah, it's
I should have got rid of Ronaldo.
typical. Murphy's Law that you have Williams for since your wild card in game week 4, and he plays like one game and gets 2 points in all of them, and then the one game you take him out, he gets 7.
Yeah, I was furious about that. I took him out for a Tottenham player. Doesn't even play.
And now going forward, what are your issues or question marks? Because the deadline is tomorrow, so
Well, I've already taken Townsend out
okay,
because I just think Townsend has done nothing. I've taken him out for Cornet. Is it Cornet or Cornet?
Cornet.
Cornet, yeah, Cornet for Burnley because he seems to be a little bit of a superstar and he's so cheap. So I thought that was a reasonably good move because I need to save some pennies. And I'm not sure yet.
Okay, pretty decent otherwise. For me, I
Yeah,
got
the Trent captain was
yeah,
wonderful.
very good decision
Wonderful.
there in the end. For me, I got exactly the same amount as you, 53 points. A lot of the game week for me on Saturday wasn't the same as yours. Saturday was a bit of a nightmare in a way because I didn't have Jota. So watching him
Mm.
score a brace sucked a lot. Captain Salah, who had his chances, but unfortunately no goal. But he did get an assist once again. He's a returning
Mm.
king. Um, so going through my team, I had Ramsdale in goal, got himself a clean sheet and a bonus point or save point, I think. Trent, James
Mm-hmm.
with 1 point. Double City defense once again, not doing their jobs. Well, they did until like the 94th minute, but two
That made me
points.
so happy.
It cost me the 100k. It would have been, I think, 90k had that not happened. But whatever. Salah captains, Rafinha 3, Gallagher 2, Benteke 2. Vardy got himself a brace, thankfully, finally keeping hold of him. And Antonio got me 2. Foden didn't play. Yeah, my moves were Mboma and Tony out for the Crystal Palace twins. And yes, Tony scored a goal, which fair enough. But I just got sick of them in my team, both him and Mbomo, and I wasn't enjoying seeing them there. So I thought, you know what, I may as well just get them out. I like the look of the Crystal Palace guys, so let's go.
Yeah. I take some credit for you keeping Vardy because I think you were close to going to Kane.
If there was any hint that Vardy was maybe not going to be fit for the game 2 weeks ago, then I probably would have done the move. And I think, to be fair, the move would have been, I can't remember, but it would have involved Jota coming in as well.
Oh, so
So,
much of.
but I think I
I got to
prefer
admit,
having Vardy.
on Saturday after the Spurs game was cancelled, Livramento just got smashed by Liverpool, so he had 0 points. Duffy didn't play, so he also had 0 points. And I saw your defenders yet to play, James, Diaz, and Cancelo, and I was worried, man. I thought I should have got James because I decided not to get James because I didn't want to take another point hit, and I haven't had a point hit in maybe 3 weeks now.
You were considering Aspilicueta to James, right?
Yeah, I, and now because it's such a short turnaround, I'm hoping that this Chelsea defender actually gets a game.
I think he will, because he,
I do too.
yeah,
So I'm going to keep him. If he doesn't play again, then he's gone. He's just 5 games now not played is just crazy, man.
around there. Although something to take note of, I'm not sure if you watched our game yesterday
No,
against United.
no, it was a stupid time here. I woke up and saw the score.
Alonso started at left back, but he came off later in the game. But the interesting
Mm.
thing was that when he came off, James went to left back. So I can't remember. I think we brought Mount on, but the whole point is that I think that there's a potential of James maybe playing left back as well, which could mean that Aspilicueta could play right back, or even Hudson Odoi maybe. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, yeah,
But there will
really.
be rotation. That's expected. All right, having a look at the game week results wise. Arsenal versus Newcastle. I didn't really watch. This game was on, but I wasn't watching it with attention. I saw Martinelli scored a very sexy goal.
Yeah,
Still,
it was a really good goal.
still not going to buy. I'm not interested in Arsenal players at the moment.
I saw Aubameyang miss right next to the goal.
Yeah.
I was shocked he missed that.
Saka getting on the score sheet, good for him. He's
Yeah.
one of those. He's one of those players who, whenever I've had him, which was last season, whenever I had him, he did really badly, and when I didn't have him, he
Yeah.
did well. So I don't really like those kinds of players. Newcastle,
Sod's law, isn't it?
it is. Newcastle didn't. I wasn't impressed by them. They're doing terribly defensively, but they're still attacking. But they're not really getting on the end of anything yet.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. Gerrard getting his second consecutive win. Our Crystal Palace, or my Crystal Palace boys, didn't really do much, but nor did Villa. Not too tempted from the Aston Villa side of things either. Not sure about you.
Not at the moment. I'm quite surprised that they've turned it around so quickly in a way. They've won 2 games back to back, but yeah, I'm not really tempted by anyone at the moment.
I think it's okay. I can't say much because I haven't watched their games too much, but I think it's maybe the way they play. Gerrard likes to play that very possession-based game. So
Yeah.
if you have the ball, you can't concede too many chances. And the goal that they did concede was, I think, like a 92nd minute free kick or something. Yeah. So it's only when the teams go gung ho against them that they're really going to concede anything. Liverpool, we mentioned Jota getting his brace. For me, I'm very tempted to get him in this week, depending on what I hear news-wise from Man City side. You've got both. I'm assuming you're happy to keep. You're not going to sell either of them.
Not at the moment, no.
Livramento, are you still happy to have him? They're not doing great.
Yeah, not doing great, but he's always good to have on the bench. I'm not in a rush to get rid of him, to be honest. Could you imagine I bench boost this weekend?
Wouldn't you have gotten like 1 point, if that, or 0? I can't
No, I
remember.
would have got 0 extra points. I got nothing.
Been terrible.
I remember last season I bench boost and I got 4 or 5 points. It was awful.
Wow.
I never do well in bench boost.
Yeah.
I need to. My bench is always naff.
Or do I? Not Aston Villa, sorry. Norwich and Wolves playing to a typical of the fixture, a boring 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch a single minute of this game. So I can't tell you much about it. We'll talk about Norwich a bit in the stats section. But yeah, any takeaways from this? Are you interested in any of the players? You have Wang.
Hwang Hee-chan is one of those actually starting to get on the chopping block. I'm starting to think, do I need this? Well, not do I need him, but is he helping my team? No. Could I get a cheaper player? Probably. But I'm not in a rush to get rid of him either.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Really.
He's playing, which is good at the moment.
Yeah.
He's not playing too well, but a lot of the strikers that are available at the moment, they're either not playing well or they're playing against bad teams. Like we're going to get to Watford shortly, who have arguably the most informed strikers at the moment. But they might have informed strikers, but their fixtures next are really bad. So
Yeah.
it's probably best to just hold on to what you have at the moment. Brighton and Leeds. Honestly, I think I may have predicted this 0-0. I said if Rafinha was fit, maybe Leeds would win, but 0-0 otherwise.
No, I think we changed it, didn't we? We said just stick to one.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
I can't remember. I can't even remember what. I think I went with Brighton win, maybe.
It's possible. Sure. But yeah, Brighton doing what they do, getting a clean sheet at home. Don't concede too many chances there. You must have been annoyed by Duffy. You could have had yourself a double clean sheet. I hope it's not a long-term thing for your sake, because you need playing players.
Have you noticed I have a bit of a trend? As soon as I bring in a defender, they don't play. Reguilon, game doesn't even go ahead. Duffy doesn't play.
Williams,
get rid of him, plays.
You bought Williams on your wild card. Yeah. Aspilicueta. Literally all of them. Wow.
Aspilicueta.
You're good at this.
Really, actually, the only one is Trent. The only one in my back four that plays is Trent.
Please don't buy James. Please.
No, I don't want to because I know as soon as I buy him, he won't play. And I'm like, well, another wasted transfer. So who knows?
The
I hate
Sunday
defenders.
the Sunday game was Brentford and Everton. I will admit I was a little bit scared of this result because having sold both the Brentford guys and Everton in bad form. So I'm glad it was only 1-0. Did when did you sell Tony? You have had him, right?
God, it was ages ago. I think I sold him for Huang Hee-chan, actually.
That sounds
It was
right.
so long ago. Yeah, I would have been better just sticking with Tony.
Probably, yeah. Patience. I mean, not much to say. Yeah, Everton played badly, but they have
No.
injury issues too.
This was the game where I thought this is Townsend's last chance for me
Oh yes, you have
because it's
Townsend.
such an easy fixture. I've been saying for weeks this is the fixture. If he does have a good game, he's gone. If he doesn't have a good game, he's probably gone. And as soon as the game was over, I got rid of him because I think he'll drop in price
I think yeah, he
and he'll
did.
score
He
next
he,
week.
he dropped last night.
Exactly. So I had to get rid of him.
Yeah, good decision in the end. Leicester versus Watford, very attacking game. A lot of snow, but 4-2, Vardy brace. James Madison played amazingly, surprisingly.
Yeah. So I was reading some people's thoughts on getting Madison in, and doesn't seem many people were that convinced by a one-off performance from him.
You say that. There's a guy in one of my mini leagues, and it always happens. He wildcarded this week for some reason, and one of his wildcard picks were going to get there. Gundogan from Man City and James Madison. What a man!
Why would you go that way?
It made no sense. So he got like
It made no
75 points
sense.
this week.
I wild carded in like week 3, didn't
Something like that. We were talking
I?
about Leicester and Watford. Leicester, I'm very happy to keep Vardy. I feel vindicated in the fact that I did. Um, I'm not sure if he's going to play tomorrow or whenever they play because too many games in 1 week and they have good strikers, so on the bench. But if he plays twice this week, I'll be very happy. And Watford continue to score with Josh King and Dennis. Josh King is a potential replacement for both of them are potential replacements for Wang, same price range.
I told my coworker, why don't you have Dennis first on the bench because he's an attacking player? And he said, no, they're playing Leicester. I'll put in. I can't remember. It was one of the defenders. I think it was Livramento, and he got 0 points.
Silly decision, knowing that they played Liverpool. But yeah, Dennis very attacking. Again, the only issue with them is that they play Chelsea and Man United or Man City next. So if you're going to buy them, you're going to bench them. So there's no real point at the moment. After that, maybe. Man City doing very well against West Ham. Expected result to be fair. West Ham didn't do badly. Antonio, you must be happy you sold him. Or content.
Yeah, content with selling him. If Benteke had scored, I'd have been over the moon. But yes, I think it was time Antonio moved on from my squad, to be honest.
You've sold him at, I guess, the right time. Because like for people like me now, I think he has a decent fixture coming up this game week. But so you can't sell him now. But
Yeah.
the game week after this one is tough again. So it's a bit of 50-50 now for me. But for you, you had 2 tough games. So it made sense for you to get rid.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's a case of if you don't sell Antonio, but don't buy him right now. But if you need the money to get someone else like Jota in midfield or Cancelo or one of the other defenders, then yes, sell him.
I can't see many people buying him at the moment.
It would be a bit silly.
I see a lot of people selling him this
Yeah.
week or next week, probably.
Most of all, though, we haven't mentioned one fixture, and that's the postponed one, Spurs and Burnley. Uh, how do you feel about that? You must be happy you didn't bring in Spurs or Kane like a lot of us were planning to do over this period,
But I brought in regular from Spurs
which isn't as
for
bad.
Williams.
Yeah,
It's not bad, but still, it's one of, you can't have hindsight. The game's going to be cancelled, so
of
it
course.
wasn't too bad. But yeah, if I brought in Kane or Son, which I never was going to do, to be honest, then I would have been gutted. But yeah, I think I wouldn't go near Kane at the moment, not until he gets a run together, builds his confidence up against actual real Premier League teams.
Fair enough. And then moving on from the discussion about the results, I thought I would have a look at the team stats over the last 2 game weeks specifically, because it sounds like your cats are going insane in the background.
He's having a good old bloody time. He's running about. It's nearly Christmas.
Good man. But yeah, I've chosen to do the last 2 game weeks. Usually I would do 4, but because the new managers, there were like 4 new managers that came in 2 game weeks ago, I thought it would be a more true reflection to see how teams are doing. And this first graphic is big chances conceded over the last 2 game weeks. And top for big chances conceded are Leicester, so terribly defensively, and Newcastle, just as bad still. Watford, just as bad still. But look at the opposite end of the table for teams who have not conceded chances. I know there's the obvious one there is Man City, who haven't conceded
Manchester City, I
haven't
can't believe it.
conceded any. They've conceded 9 attempts, 9. And then second to last, or the second best defense basically over the last 2 game weeks since his appointment, Dean Smith's Norwich haven't conceded a chance. Well, a big chance.
Isn't that insane?
It is. I mean, they've gone
That is nuts, man.
There's 3 games unbeaten at the moment. So,
Yeah, Norwich just suddenly world nearly beat us.
yeah. So, I mean, usually we look at Norwich and think they're the whipping boys, at least in my mind,
Yeah.
up until now.
Yeah.
But I think we need to look at them a bit differently. However, with Eddie Howe, who's now at Newcastle, Newcastle is still as bad as they were at the moment. And Watford.
Come January, they will sign Mbappe and it'll all change.
Yeah. And I mean, looking at the other big teams, Chelsea, two big chances over the last 2 weeks. Aston Villa, Gerrard doing as well as Chelsea at the moment. Brighton, same thing. All these teams that play very possession-based football usually don't concede many chances.
Yeah.
However, look, I mean, the likes of Leeds, who've had some injury issues, still conceding a lot. Everton as well, 5. So Brentford, Man United as well, right up there. They're the worst of the big teams.
Are Man United a big team?
We haven't even mentioned the appointment of their new manager or interim manager. What do you are they going to turn things around quickly? What do you think?
What was his name? Ralph what?
Ranick?
Rannick?
Yeah.
Ralph Rannick? Sounds like a video game character. Or a cartoon character, right? Ralph Rannick. Ralph Rannick. I'll be honest with you. Before this week, I don't think I ever heard of Ralph Rannick, apart from I've heard in interviews other managers talk about the style of pressing. And so he's going to have a hard job with these Manchester United players if he wants to press, because they've shown they cannot press. They've tried pressing and they can't do it. And then you have Ronaldo up front. He's too old. He can't press. So he's going to have a difficult challenge, isn't he?
I think so. And I'm sure he'll have a meeting with the big players to try and see like who's on board or who's not. But I think for the time being, I think Michael Carrick is still the manager until he gets his work visa sorted.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah. Do you think he would dare bench Ronaldo again against Arsenal?
I mean, you'd probably have to say possibly. if you really believe you're playing better without Ronaldo at the moment, then I think so. Sancho scored again, right?
He did score last. Yeah, it wasn't a. Did you see the goal by any chance?
No, I didn't see anything
It
at all.
you should see that the goal at least. It was terrible. It wasn't
Mm.
a good moment. We dominated the game, but we conceded through
Mm.
a clearance from the United half, a high ball. Jorginho tried to take it down with the first touch, and then he had a bad touch, and Sancho just took it on the halfway line and went and scored. So it wasn't exactly a good goal. It was just one of those like, yay, lucky. But
You just said he took it from the halfway line. Sounds pretty good.
well, he stole it from the halfway line. He didn't really. It was a very bad
I-
touch.
I'll
You should
I'll
watch
look it up after
it. Yeah, you should.
this and see if I think it's good.
Looking at the rest of the stats, though, something worth looking at. If you look at Crystal Palace, they're relatively low on that table.
Yeah.
One big chance, and but on the far right, the column on the right, minutes per big chance conceded, 191 minutes. Since that's how many minutes they go through without conceding a big chance. So I mean, they lost to Aston Villa, but they're good defensively. They have been over the last few weeks. So I think they should be able to keep it up.
Are there any Crystal Palace defenders on the radar? I can't even think of any.
Gay scored for the second game in a row, and what his name, the left back, Mitchell, Tyreek
Oh
Mitchell.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mitchell.
we had him last
I
season.
used to have Mitchell in my team. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's worth looking at. From an attacking standpoint, over the same 2 game weeks, uh, surprise, surprise, Man City top, big chances 9, Liverpool, same thing, 8, and then surprisingly, Watford, 7. So not only are they bad defensively, but they're also very attacking, which is why their strikers are worth considering. They're really going for it. Chelsea are there too, and then most of the big teams are there. Opposite end of the table, last 2 game weeks, worst attacking team, West Ham. So good decision to get rid of Antonio. Looks like it.
We're gonna find out.
I guess yeah. Again, this is 2 game weeks, so it's hard to tell. But attacking wise, again, Burnley not the greatest, but that to be fair, this is because their game was cancelled yesterday, so technically this is 1 game for them.
Yeah.
Uh, Everton terrible attacking wise, much like Crystal Palace. Defensively, they were good, 189 minutes, but this is them attacking wise. They haven't got a big chance in 189 minutes. So playing against Everton, you would think that the defense playing them has a good chance of a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Definitely worth
Bloody Everton.
considering. Yeah, bloody Everton. So again, if you look at your transfers over the last 2 weeks now, Antonio, the stats show that it's a good decision, hopefully. Everton with, what's his name?
Townsend.
Townsend, thank you.
Yeah.
Same thing. Although Cornet is there too. Cornet is not in a good attacking team, but he's been scoring goals despite the bad stats, which is interesting.
Yeah, he's doing really well. That's why I brought him in.
Exactly.
Get a bit of form in my team.
Looking at players, defenders over the last 4 game weeks. Once again, the 4 game weeks, the attacking wing backs are all top of the pile. Almost said top of the pops.
Top of the pops. Say it, man.
Top of the pops there. Trent, James, Cancelo, Region unfortunately didn't play. Robertson got an assist this game week, so Lamptey doing well points wise too. So they're all doing very well. There you can see Gay in the middle. Gay and Kuyate, both 4.5 million. Good, been pretty good over the last few game weeks. So for me, okay, I still own Diaz, and I'm probably going to be stubborn and keep him because I don't trust.
I wouldn't.
I mean, I don't want to, but look, who am I going to sell him for this week? If I sell him, then I have to get
Crystal
a lot.
Palace defender.
Not reliable. I would
Go
sell
for
him.
Gay.
I would probably have to go for Alonso, and I'm not sure if he's going to start or not.
See, look at the top of this, the top of the pops here. You got James and Cancelo. I'm scared to go for Cancelo because he's going to get rested at some point, and I know that's the week I get him. James surely is the same thing. Trent is the only one who I think is nailed on all the time.
To be fair though, like even if you were to get him in for one game and he misses the game, at least then you know for the weeks after that, you're guaranteed that he's going to play.
You say that, but I thought the same with my current Chelsea defender. Like, oh, he missed the game. It's okay. He'll play next week. Oh, maybe he'll play next week. And that's 5 game weeks later, and I'm still
But
sitting
the
there with
but
0 points.
but these two are very good though. James and Cancelo have been arguably been like their top in the top three players at their clubs this season. So if you're going to rest them,
Yeah,
it's going to be
true,
to rest
true.
them.
I'm genuinely considering just going because I feel most of the points this year is genuinely in defense.
Looks like it.
I feel like just getting rid of the top midfield players and the strikers and just saying, all right, Cancelo, James, Trent,
Regular.
not Diaz,
Yeah.
regular.
Looking at the midfielders though, like you're talking about players who aren't scoring points in midfield, but the top two scorers at the moment are Jota and Salah. So in that department, you are sitting pretty.
Sitting pretty. Yeah, I don't have the gun dog. He could be
I
a
don't think.
differential to
Yeah,
have.
yeah, he's a differential, but he falls in the same category as Bernardo Silva and Foden in a way, because you don't know
Yeah.
who's going to play or who's going to score. They're good. They're all good options when they play, but you don't know when they're going to play.
City squad is too strong.
Yeah, I think at the moment Pep was talking about Laporte being out, and that means he can play Ake more or something like that. So we have to be looking. Also, another point that I haven't looked at, but we need to consider yellow cards as well, because a lot of players are on 4 yellow cards, and if they get one more, that's a suspension.
Mm.
Cancelo's on 4 at the moment. I think James might be on 4 too. So it's coming. They their mandatory game off. There's
That's clever though. They're going into the Christmas period. Go get a yellow card. Have Christmas off.
yeah, that was Neymar's plan over the years. Usually, that's what he did.
So a lot of footballers come out and say, "Yeah, I used to go get a yellow card in the weeks leading up, so I could be banned for Christmas Eve." Makes sense.
It does. James Madison is on the table there at the bottom. Uh, all all these different options that are less than 8 million are the kinds of players who you don't mind, but you're not expecting much from them, right?
Yeah.
Trossard, Foden, not Foden, Bowen,
Mm.
Dan James from Leeds. They're not players you're going to be
Well,
buying.
James scored
A couple of weeks
against
ago.
Tottenham, right?
Yeah.
I
And
wouldn't go out and buy James, to be honest.
if you were to buy a Leeds player, it would be Rafinha.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
There's no other player you want from Leeds.
Yeah. And again, completely highlighting the fact that there's no real value up front at the moment. King and Benteke, once again, still the top strikers in terms of XGI. Aubameyang is still there. Adam Armstrong from Southampton. Tony, Pookie. And then finally we get to Ronaldo. And then there's only one other player who's a top scorer or a top priced player, Vardy at the bottom there. But everyone else is less than 10 million. It's quite weird.
It is. It's really bizarre. I've never known a season like this where the strikers are just all meh.
The standout over here is in the middle of the table, you'll see Dennis. His
Mm-hmm.
XGI is 1.65. That's what is expected of him over the last 4 game weeks. But the stat next to that is what he actually produced, which is 5.35. So over the last 4 game weeks, he got 4 assists and 3 goals in that time, which is he's outperforming his XG massively. Crazy.
But Watford's fixtures are going to be horrific.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I had him earlier in the
Do you
season.
have Dennis? Oh, you had him.
Yeah, I remember I got him in like game week 2, I think.
Yeah.
Had him for a good few
Dennis
weeks.
is, if I was to get rid of Huang Hee-chan, Dennis is that one where I'm like, okay, you can come in and do this job.
I don't know. I can't remember how much Wang is, but he's definitely
Huang
not
is 6 something.
5 point.
Let me double check.
I thought it was 5.8 or something like that. But yeah, if you,
No.
yeah, I'm pretty
Give
sure
him
he
more. Give him. Oh, he's 5.7.
is. So I mean, if you were to sell him, you could get King at 5.6, and I mean Dennis is 5.3, so you can save that extra 0.00 some
Oh
money.
no, yeah, he's 5.8. So,
You would sell him
or
for
maybe I
5.
bought him at 5.
Yeah, so it's worth considering maybe in the next couple of game weeks.
Yeah, not desperate for it.
Nah. Looking at the fixtures, these are from 14 to 21. Again, the end of the Christmas period. Top of the top of the pops once again. Man United fixtures wise, new managers in. Arsenal, I don't know what's going to happen in that game to be honest. But then they're a good run. Same with Man City and Tottenham. So definitely teams worth hopping onto.
Yeah, if Tottenham Hotspur's fixtures are so good. Brentford, Norwich. Son Heung-min at some point. He's just gonna bang. He's gonna get 3 or 4 goals.
I could potentially this week, for example, I could sell Antonio. Antonio's playing Brighton and then Chelsea.
Hmm.
I could sell Antonio and then get Josh King or Dennis and bench them and then upgrade if Foden is still dead. Upgrade
Hmm.
Foden to Son.
If Foden is injured, if Foden is out and it comes out, I would definitely be tempted to say Ronaldo, you get a huge downgrade, and Foden, you get an upgrade to Son.
That is tempting.
It's so tempting, even though Ronaldo's fixtures are going to be so good.
You
It's
can always
tempting.
you can always buy him back, right?
Yeah,
Even if you
I don't know how easy it would be.
even if you look, I mean, look at Tottenham's fixtures. They have
Mm.
Brentford, Norwich, Brighton. So even if you go for Son for 3 game weeks, and then you hop back onto United when they have Norwich, Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle.
Yeah.
So looking at it in three game week spurts doesn't make it that bad.
But for me to go to Ronaldo and Foden to Son, I'm going to have to take a -8 hit.
Mm.
So I don't know if it's worth it. That's the only downside.
Yeah, this week you'd take a -8, but I mean next week, yeah. Would in my position, I don't have Jota, so if Foden is
No.
out, would you
It's quite an
just
easy move to Jota.
would you go Jota or would you be more tempted by what I just said, Antonio to Watford, Foden to Son? So essentially, Son versus Jota.
Hmm. Because you already have Trent and Salah, I would be more interested in getting a different player in Son. Because there's going to be a point where Liverpool, they can't keep winning 4-0 every game week. And when Firmino comes back, Jota's time will reduce. So I'd possibly go Son.
I tend to
Even though
agree.
Jota's in insane form, Son's fixtures are too good.
They are, but
I like that you said you tend to agree.
yes, I do. But you mentioned Firmino. Even when he does come back, which will probably be somewhere in this period, I wouldn't mind having Jota and knowing he's there because immediately after this, in game week 22, I think it is, that's when Mane and Salah go to the African Cup of Nations.
Yeah, I think if I don't go to Son in the African Cup of Nations, it's easy Salah to Son. It's such an easy move.
Yeah, should actually look at that for next month. Check the fixtures for Spurs and see if it's worth considering then. It's a good
I
idea.
think it probably will. I don't think there's any other player that comes close to Mane and Salah in the
Yeah,
midfield.
I don't think so. But
Oh, predictions.
let's look at the predictions. We have 2 game weeks to do. the game we're starting tomorrow, which ends on Thursday. Keep that in mind. So the deadline is tomorrow night at about 8 p.m. South African time, and then on
which would be 8 p.m. British time.
is it? I don't know anymore. Probably
Oh, wait, no.
daylight
Daylight
savings. I
savings.
don't know. Yeah,
So maybe 9 o'clock? Oh, I don't know. Who knows?
who knows? But yeah, then Saturday the deadline is at 1 p.m. South African time. So 2 game weeks to go through. Let's go through them quickly. We really are going to rapid fire them. So
Yeah.
first of all, game week 14, the probably the biggest game of the bottom dwellers that we've had this season. Newcastle versus Norwich. What's going to happen?
I think it'll be 3-1 Newcastle. I think. I know, right? You just showed me all these stats about Norwich not conceding and stuff. But it's at Newcastle. Newcastle need to go get a result. Under Eddie Howe, they're more attacking. And I think, I think I'll give it Newcastle 3-1.
All right. I don't know.
I think St. Maximum or Wilson in your team, this is the week where you're going to see that beautiful
I definitely wouldn't sell them.
potential.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
game.
No,
Newcastle haven't won yet this season, so they need a win.
I know.
This is a must-win
They
game,
need to. Yeah.
and I want them to win. It's against Norwich, so Newcastle, Newcastle 2-0.
Newcastle 2-0.
Yeah, Leeds Palace. I will go first. Rafinha, assuming he is fit. 1-1. Benteke and
Oh, you're
Gallagher.
so boring.
Benteke and Gallagher
Come
involved,
on.
and Rafinha
Yeah.
all getting me points.
It's at Ellen Road,
Yeah,
but Leeds, they're not performing. Crystal Palace, Vieira's got them singing like a canary, even though they're actually eagles. I'll say 2-1 Crystal Palace.
Benteke scoring a brace.
Yeah, of course.
Hope so. And then the first game of Wednesday, Southampton versus Leicester. I am going with a
1-1.
2-all draw. Ha! 2-all draw.
2-2? Yeah, I
Yes.
got 1-1.
And I'm not
I
sure
think both
who's.
teams.
I think Vardy's going to be rested, and
Yeah.
I still think he's going to come on and score though. Bench goal for him. So I'm not playing Livermento, that's for sure.
No. 1-1, I'll say, yeah.
Watford Chelsea.
3-0 Chelsea.
We're gonna rotate. We're gonna rotate. I think we're gonna win, and I think Watford will score, so the clean sheet will go. So 2-1 Chelsea.
Mm-hmm. West Ham.
West Ham Brighton. I think 1-0 West Ham.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I'll say. I'm also going to say 1-0 West Ham. I don't.
Okay. Wolves Burnley.
This is an uninspired game, isn't it?
It is.
Wolves,
It's
Burnley.
terrible.
Wolves aren't doing particularly well. Burnley just had a day off. So, I'll give it Burnley. I think Burnley will be sharper. Burnley 2-0.
I was going to say this is your Wang versus Cornet.
Yeah, Cornet.
For me,
Cornet's going to score 2.
0-0. Another board draw.
Yeah, it has it written all over it, right?
It does. And then after that, we have Steven Gerrard's managerial debut against Man City. Man City.
Managerial debut. For a second, I thought, what?
Yeah.
He's just played 2 games. Man, this is a reality check, don't you think?
I think so too, yeah.
4-0 City.
Okay, I wasn't thinking that badly.
They're going to get smashed.
I think there's going to be heavy rotation. So, City 2-0 probably. Unless there's like a calamitous error in defense and Aston Villa score somehow. Merseyside derby.
Everton are doing terrible, eh?
Very badly. 2-0. Liverpool.
Liverpool. Yeah, it's not going to be a good Aston Park. It's going to be a very bad Aston Park for Everton. 3-0 Liverpool. At least.
At least. Spurs Brentford. Spurs are going to smash them.
I think so too. Looking at that, you just think Spurs are going to act, and they just had a rest as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about most.
Because some of the players are going to be shattered, eh?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be able to train. I'm going to say Spurs 3-0.
I'm going to say 2-0.
You notice all
Again.
the ones I predict to do high scoring are players I don't own.
Yeah, I've noticed. And then
Man United, Arsenal.
I think Arsenal win
Now,
this.
but it's at Old Trafford. Arsenal don't win at Old Trafford. I can't remember the last time they won at Old Trafford. In fact, I'm going to Google it.
I think they're going to sneak a win. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But I think they might. Then again,
All right, let's see.
It might be a boring game too, like a 1-1.
When do you think the last time Arsenal won at Old Trafford was?
2005.
In the Premier League. Oh my God. 2006.
I don't remember the game.
What Solskjaer was playing in that game. That's how long ago it was.
That's impressive. Wow. I almost got it right.
2006. Can Arsenal beat Manchester United? I don't see it, man. I feel United are going to be up for it. Arsenal, they're doing great. Would it be a draw?
You've got Ronaldo, so you're surely hoping for...
I know, of course, I'm hoping for another. I'm going to say Man United 2-1. I think Ramsdale's pretty incredible, so 2-1 Manchester United.
Okay, fair enough. And then this coming weekend we have game week 15, which is about 2 days after game week 14.
Nuts, man.
First game of the weekend is West Ham versus Chelsea. They both played on Wednesday, so they get a 3-day break, basically, ish.
It's not bad.
No, 2. It's Thursday, Friday, so 2-day rest. I think West Ham could sneak this.
No, you don't.
It depends. If we rest against Watford, which I think we do, we'll rotate against Watford, then I think we'll win against West Ham. If we don't rotate against Watford, then I think we could lose. But I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0 Chelsea.
Okay.
Newcastle, Burnley. I'm gonna say Burnley win this one, even though it's in Tyneside. I'll say Burnley win this one. No, actually, I'm gonna say 2-2.
Wow. You flipped that quickly. I'm going for two consecutive wins for Newcastle, getting them off the bottom of the table. Newcastle win 2-0.
Wait, did you go for a Newcastle win in the F1?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Well,
I know I did.
I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't,
It was Norwich. It was. It's Norwich, so you definitely went for a Newcastle win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Southampton,
I'm gonna say draw
Brighton.
2-2. 0-0.
It has that all over it. I'm gonna sneak a Southampton win. 1-0.
Yeah. 1-0. Then Wolves, Liverpool. Oh, Liverpool have got this, man. Don't think it's going to be an absolute hiding. 2-0.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more in it. 2-1, or maybe 1-1. 2-1, I think. 2-1.
1-1? Where on earth, from Wolves' form, do you get 1-1 against the best? This is the best I've seen Liverpool play, I think, ever.
They're going to rotate eventually. They're not going to rotate against Everton because that's a derby.
I know, but it's Wolves. It's Wolves.
At Molyneux. Yeah. Watford versus Man City. Man City pumped them.
No, it's going to be a pumping.
Yeah.
That moose is going to get barbecued.
It's a 4-0 for me, which is,
5-0.
again, why I don't really want to sell Foden, because they have some good games coming up.
They really do. Might get the gun dog. Yeah, City 5-0. It's going to be awful. Sorry, Watford.
Leeds,
One
Brentford.
of my closest friends is a big Watford fan, so
Really?
I guess I'm going to lose a friend after this podcast.
That's unfortunate for them.
Yeah, why did you choose Watford?
Leeds, Brentford. Rafinha brace 2-0. Confident.
1-1.
How dare you?
Just Brentford are good. Leeds are not good, but on the day I'll go 1-1.
Okay.
This one's hard, this next one.
It is. Man United, Crystal Palace. The informed team versus Man United.
Yeah, Crystal Palace have been great. Manchester United have not been great. Crystal Palace are organised. Manchester United are not, but they have a new coach. It's at Old Trafford. So I'll let Manchester United. I think the atmosphere will get them up for this game. 2-1 Manchester United.
I think this might be the last game that Carrick will have in charge of the team, assuming that visa issues are completed, and therefore I think the only way he's going to leave the current interim role on a good note is if Crystal Palace beat them 1-0 at Old Trafford. Seems legit.
So 1-0 United win.
No, 1-0 Crystal Palace win.
You sure you don't want to change?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Spurs versus Norwich. Ooh.
It's going to be a pumping, man.
Ooh. I don't know. Even though I made a pretty good case for Norwich defensively over the last 2 game weeks. Looking at their next 2 games,
Who would win in a fight, a rooster or a canary?
probably the Rooster. Honestly, though, okay, we haven't spoken about it yet, but surely this is a good game week to captain a Spurs player.
Oh, magnificent. Liverpool have a really hard game, as you said, against Wolves.
Yeah.
No, yeah, if there's a game week to captain Son or Kane, if you're risking it, yeah, this is it. Because Spurs are going to they're going to take that canary down the mines, and that canary going to die.
I can't make a case for Norwich. I kind of hope it ends 8-0. But I would
8-0. Come on, Spurs aren't that good.
I mean, but I would prefer if none of the Kanes and Sons scored. Everyone else
regular
can.
on 5 goals.
I would love to see that, to be honest.
I would die. I would absolutely die.
30 points from a goal-scoring defender would be insane.
I captain him, triple captain him, 90
I think
points.
you would quit this game. You would never beat that.
No, never. I did triple captain Sanchez when he played for Arsenal once, and I got 90 odd points.
Yeah, that's definitely your best time
ever. So what are you saying, man? What's your Spurs result?
3-1 Spurs.
Who's scoring for Norwich? Pookie?
Penalty.
Yeah, I'm saying 3-0.
Aston Villa against Leicester. Gerrard can enjoy his second consecutive loss, and Vardy will score 2-0. I almost said bad words.
I know, I was going to say you can't say that in 2021. Aston Villa, Leicester. This one's hard. I don't think Leicester are doing that great. I think this will be Gerrard's first draw, 1-1.
It's funny hearing that because it makes me imagine for every one of his first, it's going to be when a baby does its first thing, like a baby's first steps,
Gerrard gets his first draw.
Gerrard gets his first hiding by Man City.
Oh, they're going to get smashed. It's going to be horrible.
Hope so.
And in the UK, they love smashed potato. You know smashed potato? It's like some form of mashed potato, but it's in some pre-made packet. It's disgusting.
Oh, yes, I
awful.
do. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Smash. Oh, British food. Smash. What is that? And then Everton, Arsenal.
Great transition.
I know, right? We're sponsored by Smash Potato this week. Please go get cheese and onion smash.
I would love that.
It's like 20 pence.
I'm
Quality
gonna
potatoes.
I'm gonna go for a Arsenal win, 2-0, and this could potentially result in Benitez getting sacked.
Do you think Benitez would get sacked with all the injuries?
We said that about Dean Smith.
I know, but Dean Smith's side were playing horrific football. And yeah, Everton are also playing horrific football. But doesn't Benitez's
Pedigree.
reputation, his pedigree buy him some more time? I just think that he's had so many players injured since, the second or third game week? Like, no one would expect more of this Everton team.
Sure, but
any coach.
if
I don't think they get sacked.
if Liverpool pumped them 4-0 and then Arsenal pumped them 2-0 at both games at Goodison Park, it's not going to
Never
end
heard
well.
someone say pump them 2-0 before today. Wow. Can you imagine the players on the bus? We were pumped. We're smashed 2-0. I do agree, though. I don't see Everton winning this game. I see Arsenal winning this game. I especially think Arsenal will lose to United, go to Everton. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw, but I'm going to go with Arsenal. I think it'll be a 2-0 Arsenal.
Okay, fair enough. And that completes
I'm tired.
predictions. Whew, thank goodness. On to our plans for the game week. I'm going to go first just to get this over with. I have 1 free transfer and 0 in the bank. I have no idea what I'm going to do. It depends on Foden.
Good.
If Foden's out, then it could just be an easy move to Jota. But I mentioned the idea of maybe doing Antonio and Foden to a Watford striker and Son. So I'm going to consider that, potentially have Son as a captaincy option then. Or, I mean, I could flip it the other way around and get Foden and Antonio out and get Kane. Then I'd have a front line of Kane and Vardy, which is insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
But it's mega differential.
It's insane.
Okay, fair enough.
What evidence is there to go to Kane at the moment? It's just not. Until
he's got a week's
does
rest.
Something, I wouldn't go near him.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you there.
Kane.
Yeah.
Who do you... If it was me, I would go Foden to... I wouldn't go crazy. You only have 1 free transfer. I'd go Foden to Jota. Yeah. And if Foden plays, I would just roll my transfer.
Probably. We'll see. At the moment, I have Gallagher on my bench. Hello, cat. I kind of want to play him at the moment, Gallagher, that is. But I'm not sure if I should trust the City defense double up again or just currently leave it as is and then see what happens.
I don't know. Bloody hell. Oh.
I can't hear you. Yeah.
Sorry, he muted me.
Oh, okay. Damn cat.
You fat boy. Yeah, so I don't think both of the City defenders are going to play it. I think there's a chance.
Actually, that's a good point because I'm not going to transfer them out. So I think if Cancelo gets rested, then I think
Gallagher comes on.
Yeah, even if I do Jota in for Foden, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Why? Yeah, I would keep Gallagher first, put both City defenders on. If one of them's rested, then boom, Gallagher.
Yeah, and Livramento, I'm not going to play him against Leicester because I have Vardy just in case. Even though I think
to be honest, I'd want Gallagher playing, but if both Diaz and Cancelo play, which I can't see it happening.
I mean, there's a lot, yeah. Like Vardy, I can't see him playing either. So I think he's going to come on regardless. And that's the point, is I have a bench that can come on for me.
Yeah, that's why you've built a good bench, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Looking at your team, you had 1 free transfer and 0.7 in the bank, but you told me that you've made your move. So Townsend to Cornet?
Yeah. Cornet? Is it Cornet? Cornet.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a few difficulties with my team. Alan has to go at some point because he's been dreadful, abysmal.
He's your fifth midfielder, though. He's like my Brownhill,
Yeah, yeah. He's just taken a place on the bench.
but he's expensive.
The Chelsea Duffy as well. I'm not sure what's happening with Duffy now. If Duffy's not going to play, that's another issue. So that's annoying. Um, so I'm not sure who I'd go to from Duffy. Chelsea defender. He's going to stay again. He's got to play.
Wait, so you surely you're going to play him then?
Yeah, I'm going to play him. I don't know. I haven't fixed this yet, man.
Oh, okay.
It's still on Trent captain. There's no way I'm captaining Trent a second week running. I'm not. I'm ballsy sometimes, but no. Salah is my captain against Everton.
Okay. So at the moment,
I don't.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
think if I were to guess, you're going to play Aspilicueta instead of Duffy,
Duffy. Yeah,
and the rest stays the same. Captaincy on Salah and vice
yeah.
captaincy on Wang.
Vice captain will probably go to Benteke actually,
Yeah. Okay.
because I
Yeah.
feel Leeds isn't the worst fixture. Obviously, Ronaldo is one of those players who's now becoming at risk of being rotated, but I don't think, or not rotated, just kicked out my team. But I don't think he will. Foden, depending on Foden, I might get rid of Foden. I'm
I've
really
just
not
I've
sure
just
though.
realized that I've only spoken about this coming game weeks
Yeah,
and not the weekend as well. So if you've now done Cornet, what's your
yeah.
plan going to be for this weekend?
I genuinely don't know.
Because this is
Oh,
Ronaldo's
it
last
depends.
this is Ronaldo's last difficult game, right? So
Yeah,
this weekend he
there's
has
no
an
point me
easy.
getting rid of Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no point me getting rid of Ronaldo because his fixtures are going to turn. He's going to get games. He's going to score. Now I feel would be the worst time to get rid of him. If I was going to get rid of him, I should have got rid of him 4 or 5 game weeks ago. My Chelsea defender, I think even if he plays tomorrow, I feel like I get rid of him.
Yeah, I think it's a good chance because I mean tomorrow you're going to see
Yeah,
whether he's going to play or not. We expect him to play, and
yeah,
then you would assume that that would be for James. So then James would get his rest tomorrow night, and then James would come
yeah.
back in on the weekend. So you can then sell
But
him.
I don't know. I don't know if I would go for a Chelsea defender, but
Surely it's Cancelo
probably
versus James.
it's Cancelo versus James. It's got to be. I would like to get Duffy out and bring in Cancelo somehow. Not sure. I'd have to get rid of a big name.
Ronaldo.
No, he's not. He's staying, man. But Foden's the big one. I'm waiting on Foden news, and we
Mm.
won't get it because it's City. They never reveal anything.
Yeah, you can only hope.
But I honestly don't know who I'd go to. Who would you go to from Foden?
I mean, listening to what you've just said, you want Cancelo and James. So
Hmm.
I would
Hmm.
probably end up doing uh, Foden. It wouldn't be all be in one game week. So it would be
Right.
maybe this next game week you would get Aspilicueta to one of James or Cancelo. And then the
Yeah.
week after that, if Foden is out long term, it would be Foden out for a 6 million midfielder or five Gallagher maybe or
Yeah.
cheaper, and then you do Duffy to the other one of James and Cancelo,
Yeah. Because Trent, James, Cancelo, and Regulon would be a very nice back line.
and then you would still have enough money to maybe do Wang to a Watford
Dennis or
striker
something.
eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, yeah,
Once Watford's fixtures have a little turn.
exactly.
But
My
otherwise, I'm very fearful of your defense. I'm hoping they don't play.
we'll see.
That's my hope. I hope James gets rested. Are you captaining Salah as well?
Yeah, at the moment I'm on Salah, and my vice is Vardy. But yeah, my plans for the weekend uh, depends on what I do tomorrow. I'm gonna go, let's assume that I do Foden to Jota, then I have some
Hmm.
money to potentially upgrade. I don't know. Maybe I might not do anything then. I might save the transfer on the weekend so that I have two next week.
I mean, let's just check Foden. Let's see if anyone's mentioned anything about Foden.
I don't think they
Uh,
have.
did you send any news? Foden.
I haven't checked since we've been on here.
We will apparently get some clarity from Pep on Foden one way or the other.
In the meantime, I'll tell you about where you can follow us. You can follow us on social media at FanChallenged on Twitter and Instagram, FantasyChallenged on YouTube, one word, or podcast version. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever else you might find them. And yeah, that's about it. Double game, well, not a double game week, but 2 game weeks in
No, on one.
one podcast. There's a lot to
I
talk
tell you
about.
what, the latest quote from Pep
Mm-hmm.
about Foden is Phil Foden was in an incredible moment, incredible player, so important for us. We trained today and will be ready for incredible, difficult game against Aston Villa. What does that mean? That means nothing.
Wait, did he say we will be ready or he will be ready?
No, he said we will train today and be ready for an incredible, difficult game against Aston Villa. But it doesn't say anything. It's so open-ended.
Yeah, who knows? I don't like. We'll see. Anyway, good luck for tomorrow. Good luck for the game week. I hope you do well. Good luck for this weekend's game week as well. Hope you don't do well in that one. So it balances out.
Well, good luck to you in both game weeks because I'm not childish and hope you have a good time. No, I hope you do. I hope you do terribly.
That's more like it. Okay, and then we'll see you probably next Wednesday. So check in
Yeah.
this game week.
See you next week.
Righty. Cheerio. Goodbye.